The deadly siege of a central Sydney cafe has ended, but the investigation is just beginning.
Now, the sources say the cafe manager killed in the dramatic final moments of a siege in Sydney was shot while trying to grab the gunman's weapon.
Loud explosions and yelling could be heard from outside the Lindt Chocolate Cafe in Sydney's Martin Place when armed police stormed the building about 2 a.m. The man responsible was earlier named as Harun Monis, an Iranian cleric on bail for a string of violent offences. 17 people were taken hostage by the self-styled Iranian cleric Harun Monis shortly before 10 a.m. last morning, but 5 ran free later that afternoon. Police said 3 female hostages aged 75, 52 and 43 sustained gunshot wounds and all were in a stable condition. A police officer was treated for a minor gunshot wound to his face and discharged from hospital. 2 pregnant hostages aged 30 and 35 were assessed at the scene. The gunman at the centre of the 16-hour siege was also killed. The 2 hostages who died in the Sydney siege have been named as Katrina Dawson, aged 38, and the manager of the Lindt Cafe, Tori Johnson, aged 34. Police in Sydney will investigate whether the 2 hostages were killed by the gunman or died in the crossfire.
They are now working through interviewing everybody who was involved. There are a lot of people for them to interview, and a lot of people are very tired at the moment. A lot of people are very emotional. We have to consider people's health and their welfare and their mental health at the moment. So this will take time for us to gather all the information so that we can piece together bit by bit exactly what happened.
Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott says the gunman responsible for the siege was well known to authorities.
What we do know is that the perpetrator was well known to state and Commonwealth authorities. He had a long history of violent crime, infatuation with extremism and mental instability.
Australians offered flowers in front of the cafe today. The mound of flowers in front of the Lindt Cafe in Martin Place was growing quickly as security personnel guided passers-by to the cordoned-off area where they laid their offerings, some standing for a moment in silence before walking away. The area near the cafe remained cordoned off with bystanders and passing office workers leaving flowers under the police tape. We are now joined by our Newsfirst bureau correspondent from Sydney, Nirodhya Ranasinghe.
It's been a very chilling day for the public of Australia as they're coming to terms with such a horrific incident. Thousands of people have gathered at the scene, completely covering the area with condolences, with flowers and tributes to all the hostages and all the victims of the incident. Social media has had a huge outburst of support, with even random members of the public offering to ride with any individuals, in particular Muslim Australians who are uncomfortable or feel frightened to travel on public transport. So the public have made a hashtag as "I'll ride with you," and that's now gone viral amongst the public in Australia as a gesture of solidarity. Despite the events that have happened in the past day, the country has united in sadness and offers continuous support and assurance to all of those who are affected by the Sydney siege, friends and family of the victims. And although Australia has a heavy heart, the public are offering gestures of solidarity to support and stand by one another. My name's Nirodhya Ranasinghe from Sydney, Australia for News First.